All right, let's go to Dallas. This will be noon Eastern time. Texas and Oklahoma State. The Longhorns, heavy favorites, 14 and a hook. If you're looking at where the real question marks are, the least amount of question marks are probably Michigan, Iowa, but Texas heavily favored. Best season since 2009. What could go wrong, Tom?
I mean, this is can Oklahoma State run the ball? That's if they can't run the ball, they've got no shot in hell of winning this game. Because that is really I know Alan Bowman has kind of taken steps forward, but still their passing attack overall to me has not been overly impressive. Where they have thrived is with Ollie Gordon and running the ball. And this is a very good Texas defense. It's a very good Texas defensive line, and they are incredible against the run. So it's going to be a really tough road for them to hoe. And then on the other side, it's just, I've said it every single week for the last 2 months now, whenever we talk about Texas. If they don't finish drives, they let teams hang around. And if you let somebody hang around, then it only takes one mistake or one guy getting out of their fit to lose a game. So will we see the Texas that we saw last week that just kind of stomped on Texas Tech's throat and kept twisting their foot until there was nothing left there? Or are we going to see the mess around Texas? If it's the Texas we saw last week, this will be a blowout. If it's not, I haven't hedged yet.
There's only one team in the league that has big time D linemen, and it's Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's if you watch Big 12 football, it's noticeably different. Oklahoma doesn't have guys like that. Oklahoma State doesn't really have guys like that. Not many of them, at least. Nobody else in that league has multiple big time D linemen like Texas has. That's why the number is what it is, because Oklahoma State's offensive line has been much better down the stretch, but they haven't really faced teams that have big time players, So, when we talk about are they SEC ready? That's why I think Texas is. They have legitimate D linemen who wreck your drive and they, but it's still Gundy. I think he's going to find a way to score some points.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know about win the game, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that it's a walkover. But I do think that the one team out there this week that needs style points is Texas. It would very much behoove Texas to score 50. So, if you're taking 14 and a half with Oklahoma State and you're hoping I got a backdoor possibility too. I don't know that Texas is going to stop throwing. They might be run up.
The other aspect too, and I think we talked with this about the Iowa State game, Texas secondary is susceptible to the big plays, so, and then it gets kind of interesting because if you want to stop Ollie Gordon, you got to bring more guys in the box. It puts your secondary on a little bit more of an island with some of the corners. And so can you scheme it up? And the Oklahoma State's defense, their offensive line has been pretty good at limiting sacks. Bowman hasn't been under that much pressure. So and a lot of that's by, play action pass is great pass protection, so can you scheme it up? You're talking about Mike Gundy, good offensive mind. Can you hit some of those? Keep this thing interesting. Quinn Ewers has looked great. CJ Baxter's looked, fine filling in for Jonathan Brooks. The one thing too that does wear down defensive line is pace. In Oklahoma State, they like to go pretty fast. So can you sustain some drives, get them on their heels a little bit? Then all of a sudden there's tongues start dragging on the ground. It's when all of a sudden, this hole start opening up. It's definitely easier to block on the offensive line where where you're going than chasing all day as a defensive lineman.
Crap.
What?
I have to pick this game when we finish the show. I've flip-flopped 4 times in this conversation. I was Oklahoma State team total under. Well, they could scheme up 21 points. Okay. All right. Well, maybe you take Oklahoma State. But Texas does need style points. Okay. Well, maybe you take the over. But why would you take the over when Texas is bad in the red zone? I got no clue.
Here's what you do, Chip.
No clue.
Bud, and if you guys want, Bud put out a video on how to hedge this if you want to do it before the game. My plan is I'm going to hope Oklahoma State scores early and that Texas money line comes down a little bit. So that way I could hedge get a little guarantee more on my hedge than I would have to pay right now.
I didn't really want to hedge it, but like so many people are asking, like, how would you hedge this? I'm like, fine, you're right. Like the logic, if you're betting Oklahoma State to win the Big 12, is schedule and the likelihood that one of the two, if not both, of Texas and Oklahoma would be down. We got everything we needed for them to get there.
Right.
I don't know that Texas is down. This is like the best Texas team I've seen in over a decade. So
maybe this will help you decide what to do with your pick, Chip. My sports book is not even offering me a cash out on Oklahoma State right now. They're like, nope, no cash out. You're either going to win or lose, buddy. There's no in between.
So do you think that do you think I would get laughed off social media if our YouTube short is like Texas, Oklahoma State? We're going Texas money line -710.
It's moved a good bit, by the way. I mean, it was 550 Monday.
Yeah.
But it stayed at 14.5. Like that's pretty much been rock solid.
It opened 13.5 and it blew through 14.
Yeah.
With not much resistance. I don't think it'll go to 17.
Whew. Crazy. All right. What about the rest? We've got a Tulane SMU game that has a lot of New Year's 6 implications. Liberty, New Mexico State as well. An App State Troy game is very interesting. Any other conference championship games that have your attention or a matchup that you're watching in those?
Do we want to talk the Big Ten at all?
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I want to know what your model has for this actually. Cause like the total mine spit out is stupid. I had to just do the manual adjustment thing.
Was it 32?
It had Iowa scoring negative points. So like, I'm like, all right, this won't work.
that might happen. I mean, I watched the all 22 of the Ohio State Michigan game because I had to live blog it on Saturday. When I'm live blogging a game, I can't watch it the way I usually like to watch a game. And just watching this over again, because I was trying to see if there was any kind of crack in the Michigan defensive armor that maybe Iowa could potentially take advantage of. And my God, like the Michigan defensive line against Ohio State, like they didn't cause a lot of havoc. They didn't cause chaos. They weren't living in the backfield, but what they were doing was there was not a gap available to Ohio State in the run game the entire time. Like I saw one crease open up and Trevion Henderson hit it and it closed up quick, but they took the run game away from Ohio State completely after Ohio State for the last few weeks had been able to move the ball on the ground. And it was very clearly if Kyle McCord can beat us, Kyle McCord can beat us. And that is a ballsy thing to do considering Kyle McCord's got like Marvin Harrison and stuff, but they were that confident in their ability to do it and they executed it. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, Deacon Hill sure as hell ain't going to beat Michigan with his arm. The only way they're going to do anything is if, like what they've done all year, is they keep running the ball. Somebody misses a fit, bang, you break off a 70-yard touchdown run. I just don't see them being able to do that in this game. I don't think Michigan, if they get a field goal, it'll be because of a turnover. That's really their only prayer.
Their first half team total under is 0.5.
And it's juiced to the under, right?
Shouldn't it be?
Yeah, I know. That's just wild, though. Like, that's unbelievable.
I mean, like, will Michigan have more scores than Iowa has first downs?